Okay, so man, I came across this. I was watching a stream. I forget who, and they were talking about this. And obviously, it's just so kind of laughable. I think they only spent like a good cool minute on it. But on this podcast, we deep dive topics. We really get to the matter and the root of it. I'm mostly just talking, but I will admit, I'm joking, but there's gonna be some trigger warnings. Not from the video, from the conversation. Some unhingedness, some potential unhingedness. So if it gets a little tense, I don't know. Maybe I'm making a mountain out of a molehill. I don't know. But anyway, so if you haven't heard, lead developer of EA's new Black Panther game explains why she doesn't hire white people. What? Play it.
I have a team of 21 right now for Validate. It's a pretty big team. It's a crazy big team for indie games. But who is your team? Validate has a team of mostly all people of color. We have no white people on our team. I did that because I wanted to create a safe environment. And I know the best way for an environment to be safe is to be around people who are just like me. And I'm not saying that white people in the industry are creating unsafe environments. I'm not saying that. That is not what I'm saying. I am saying that sometimes it is hard to work with white people because they think that something may be okay, but it was really a microaggression. And no one wants to deal with that while they're trying to make a game that they love.
Nobody wants to deal with that.
Dog.
We're gonna play it again. Just in case you heard what you misheard what you thought, you think misheard what you said. We're gonna play it again. But you know what's funny? the stream I was mentioning that they were talking about. It was actually, I guess we'll play it again right here real quick. They said every time they say white people act like they were of another race and replace it with black people. Play it one time. It's real quick.
I have a team of 21 right now for Validate. It's a pretty big team. It's a crazy big team for indie games. But who is your team? Validate has a team of mostly all people of color. We have no white people on our team. I did that because I wanted to create a safe environment. And I know the best way for an environment to be safe is to be around people who are
only
just like
people that
me.
look like you.
And I'm not saying that white people in the industry are creating unsafe environments. I'm not saying that. That is not what I'm saying. I am saying that sometimes it is hard to work with white people because they think that something may be okay, but it was really a microaggression.
But we don't want to be
and no one wants to deal with that.
Nobody
they're trying to make a game that they love.
Yes.
The voiceover, my God, bro.
So, yeah, we're obviously all black, brown, whatever you want to say, out around here, but we are very critical and realistic. And I mean, not to be all lives matter BS, but we definitely have friends, family that are white and other races and other nations. So it is kind of interesting hearing somebody double down on something like this. I mean, where do we even begin? I mean, let's just get to the shits. So you have this developer that's working with EA, which is, first of all, EA sucks. I mean, salute the EA, but EA sucks. And I'm surprised but they're still a relatively big company. I'm surprised they're allowed. Well, I don't know if they're allowing this, but I'm surprised this is coming out of. It's obviously like a subdivision of EA, but I'm surprised they are involved with this. And their stance is that they want to have a team that's it's relatively similar, and they could have spun this to this clean, but their specific rationale is because people of non-colored people, they don't make you feel safe. So what can I do? My hands are tied. Why would I hire them? I can't. So obviously, if you look at comments and just across the internet, they're getting a tremendous amount of backlash. But we're not here to just dogpile. We're here to see if there's any validity. So, what do y'all think? Do y'all think there's any even ounce of a point that they could be made that can be made here, or do you think this is just a full sale bad idea? We'll start with you, Ace. What do you think?
Yeah, you really have to dig deep to find any type of justification, especially for saying this out loud. But I mean, okay, is there any realism to what this person is saying as far as something that she has certainly experienced? Yes, um, quote unquote,
Exactly. We've all experienced microaggressions.
yeah, quote unquote microaggressions. Which do we have a real actual definition of that?
That is kind of what a newer age term. I don't know. You guys are better at looking stuff up than me. Huh?
Um, I mean, I think it like it under that umbrella is like
Microaggression is a term used for a commonplace verbal, behavioral, or environmental slights, whether intentional or unintentional, that communicate hostile, derogatory, or negative attitudes towards stigmatized or culturally marginalized groups. I mean, all I have to say is whenever like someone says, "Hey, you speak well," or "Hey, did you do something with your hair?" Or "Hey, are you eating like uh what side you're eating when you're just eating like oxtail and rice or something like that?"
yeah. See, maybe I'm the bad guy because all this stuff is just like I've always looked at it um from the optimistic side of like somebody trying to either make conversation or just in general, and that being the best way they or the quickest way or whatever that they thought to do it.
Well, they said it
Or
could be they said it can be unintentional, so it doesn't necessarily
exactly,
have to come from a place of like hostility.
yeah, especially if it's unintentional. Like I don't I I would have it. I would find it very difficult to take offense to something or to find my or feel unsafe to something that I would assume is unintentional slash a person just trying to get to know somebody to get to know me or whatever.
This is where I kind of feel my unhinged is coming out. Okay, so let's ramp it up because microaggression is obviously a spectrum. What if someone's and we're going to keep it in the context of an office or workplace. What if someone's lunch went missing in the office, quote unquote missing? They just couldn't find it right off the bat, and then they turn to you and say, "Hey, did you move my lunch?" Would you
No,
feel you wouldn't feel slighted by that?
no, I would say no. But I mean, I can see where you're
Well,
going with it. Like if
what if they asked you that question and you like in a room of full of coworkers and
yeah,
all of them are
yeah,
white
yeah,
and then they only ask you and no one else?
then you can start to see it could feel a little bit more it would definitely feel more intentional if they zero in on me, um especially with no reason.
Well, the
There
reason is
is a reason.
because
There is a reason.
when people think of stealing, ooh, he's stealing.
Yeah, no reason outside the obvious. um yeah, and that's something I've never experienced, but I can give it to her, like if she's experienced it, especially if she's experienced it um commonly, then I can understand where this comes from. So I would say that. Um that's as far as I can go though. Is yes, I understand where it came from. Should it have come out of her mouth though? I still don't think so. Just because of the all of the reasons to the contrary why she shouldn't have said it.
Well, let me ask you this. Maybe, obviously, I already know your answer, but maybe you subconsciously do feel maybe some things he's describing. Would you say, all right, sometimes I ask questions and it's like spoons. Would you say you feel safer? in environments where people look like you?
No.
Yep, I knew.
No.
That's interesting.
Oh my
Huh.
gosh. So okay, so if you were, this is also a dumb question. At least I'm aware of it. If you were to describe what you would like your ideal workspace or workplace to look like, what are some general? What are
Racially?
some? No, not you don't have to. Just give me an idea. Just paint the picture for me. What are some of your coworkers? What's the demographic of? So
I
This feels
mean,
like a trap, bro.
no, it's there's no there's no ideal demographic in my mind.
so you'd be fully fine with working with like super old, ancient, like a non like other guys.
Correct, because the most important part is the quality of the work, or the quality of the work slash the when I work
How your
person.
coworkers view and treat you is you can't just your stuff has
No,
to.
no, no, no. But well, um,
But that's not to say
what I'm
that
saying is, yeah, yeah,
a
you're
specific demographic is going to treat you.
exactly. That's not
I know. Listen, I'm not gonna walk myself into. Don't. I know what's going on here. I'm doing the walking. Okay, yeah, I got you. Although I feel if I could press that, maybe like, would you feel comfortable, with all women environment?
yes.
Then we're gonna change the sexist
That
to
was
racist.
that was that's the answer.
Okay, fair enough. So I mean, obviously, she's getting a little backlash. You think it's warranted?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. How about you, Ghost? Can you see any saving grace in what they're saying? Do you think they have any legitimacy in what they're saying, or do you think it's really she just tweaking?
Everything that she said, her whole stance on this is how you construct your friend groups. Like if you feel a certain way, I'm not saying if it's right or wrong. I guess that's kind of a cop out answer. I do think there's some validity to what she says. I don't know about microaggressions and all that, but I mean, there's some things that's like it's true. Like I've experienced some things, and I personally don't care because like I don't care about any of my coworkers really, anyways. So it's if they treat me a certain type of way, it's whatever. Um, but that aside, if you want to have your friends be a certain demographic, if you want all your friends to be black, that's fine. That's cool. You can talk about this with them. But saying this in a work environment on caught in 4K where
Yeah, the
people
fact
can
that they said
regulate this,
they're responsible for the hiring and they
yes.
specifically hired in a certain manner.
Yeah, you're not gonna be responsible for long because you are going to that's fucking insane. You cannot say that, bro. Like this shit is what all the damn conservative certain demographic conservative people that like go on about wokeness and all this stuff and get bent out of shape about every which way. That whole stance, I personally think it's like people looking to get victimized. But this is like this is how people conservative these type of conservative people think that all black people in sense or woke liberal I don't know however you want to classify that's how they think everyone
Well,
thinks.
hold
So
on now. I mean, what if they just want to have a bit of diversity and inclusion? What's the
no, well I'm not even saying if it's a right or wrong thing, but saying you can't say
the gaming industry is heavily dominated by a specific race of people.
again if you want to have this hiring practice, even though I'm gonna be upfront, it's racist.
Yeah,
I'm not
blame.
saying that I would be opposed to working in an all black environment because I most certainly would not be, but it's racist. Like that is what it is.
Yes.
But this is the same type of racist that when like a Asian person or Indian person or white people they hire all their type of demographic in a certain field. You can do it, and that's your prerogative. I'm not saying if it's right or wrong, but you cannot say it it has to be unspoken. Like you can walk around the office and be like, "Damn, there's only black people here. Oh, there's only white people here," but you cannot say it and admit to it out loud because you will be fired. Because I'm pretty sure it's like illegal.
Yes,
Like,
this is, let's be
illegal.
very clear. That's the craziest part. That's why when you guys are saying crazy, it's like beyond crazy because this is literally illegal. You
Yeah,
cannot
so-
hire or not hire solely based off race. That's no good.
Yeah, that's one part of it. And the second part, like going into what she was actually saying, like the reasoning, microaggression stuff, you're fucking soft. Like you're not at a job to have friends or have fun. You're at a job to work.
This is ghost talking.
And if you want to have a hiring practice because of certain things, again, it's you can do what you want.
Well,
But
man,
I'm just telling you that. Well, yeah,
hold
you
on.
can't.
Just like I said with the Ace, the way in which you are treated and viewed in your workplace is relevant. Like you can't just act like a person's being soft. It's also like it can impact you in your work.
You're soft, not you, but if come on, like if it's blatant, if it's overt, yeah. But like, come on, now it's.
So you're
There's
telling
some
me
things-
if you're
there's
in
some
a work,
things
if you're in an
that-
environment where every day they're like questioning, oh, do you use some type of wave grease in your hair? Hey, do you wear Timbs to work? So you sure that's cool? And like, hey, we're going out after work for work together. You wanna we had this new fried chicken spot. You wanna go check that out? You're gonna be cool with all that?
Well, for one, I'm in general, when I have coworkers, I don't look at them I don't look at them like I want them to be my friends. So if they say something to me, I'm gonna either ignore it or just keep it pushing. I can't say there's definitely some truth to the fact that there's like microaggressions, all of this, like that's true. Like this, some things that are definitely worse than others, and I'm not here to like just shit all over that viewpoint and say that people don't experience that because that's definitely true. People do experience it. I think if you're a black woman, you probably experience it more than even a black dude would.
Yep.
That is 100% true. But the way she framed it, she didn't make it seem like it was like significant, like overt, severe race. It like microaggressions are like by definition micro. Like if you're not hiring white people because of that one little thing, I don't. If it comes, it feels soft.
Well, I mean, they also said where they feel safe. So, I mean, are you going to work somewhere where you don't feel safe?
That's the part that actually that was soft to me because it's your job, bro. Like, not to say you shouldn't feel safe, but it feels like she wants to feel comfortable, like she would with her friends. And that's not how a job should be. It should be there to work.
Do we agree with that? You agree with that, Ace? Your job shouldn't feel comfortable.
It's nice if your job is comfortable.
Yes, ideal, but I don't think
that shouldn't be the primary driving factor in your hiring practices.
I don't.
Yeah, if you're looking for a job. Wait, am I talking?
Yeah, no, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, my bad. If you're looking for a job, I mean, that can be one of your criteria in terms of where you want to work. But as far as hiring people, I don't know if you can.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you actually make a very valid point.
Force that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, sister. I think the HR is gonna be all over you, like flies on honey. I really don't see how this. Like you're on this Black Panther game. I don't know if you're gonna be on it for long, unless you can somehow say this was a joke. Hee hee ha ha. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's really just the moral of the story. I feel as if, yeah, while we all have our ideal work conditions, I think we also have to remember that, it's that old like weird expression of like how you don't want to become the thing that you dislike. Because I'm sure nobody, or I guess I was gonna ask you guys, but I mean, none of us have the answer. Maybe one day we'll get this young lady on the podcast. I would like to know if another company come out and said something similar, but obviously speaking again against black people, would they be okay with that? Are they okay with predominantly white organizations being like, hey, we want to feel safe, and we don't want weird interaction in the workplace, so we're not going to hire black people. Would you feel comfortable with that? Obviously, all this is legal, but I'd be curious to know whether they do that. I guess the last thing I could ask, I think the wild part is that they are working for an organization, a company that's like, this is like a big brand type of thing. This is like,
Yeah, like
this is weird. But I guess if they were their own game, if they were their own studio, they were working out of their like basement. Would that make it legit for you all? What do you think, goes?
um
Like if
again,
they were just a small business owner.
if she didn't say this out loud, I'm I would be all right with it. The reason why I'm pissed that she actually said it is because like there's already enough back and forth in uh
This is definitely
controversy
create more
over,
division.
yeah, like hiring practice in general, like the Rooney Rule in sports. Like what's the big one in, I'm like in regular jobs and kind of like diversity hires, stuff like that.
Affirmative action and all that.
Yeah, yeah, that's affirmative action. So people already get bent on a shape about that, say that it's racist. And I don't believe that it is racist because, again, the whole reasoning behind it is that for so long, black people and people, certain ethnicities, people of color, whatever, weren't hired specifically because of their race. So they're trying to flip it and kind of get things balanced again. And it's still, hiring is still done based off of merit, but there's also an added thing of, if you maybe you wouldn't have been considered for this in the past because you're black, but now you would be. That's why I am for that, hiring practice like that. But this is like unaffirming all the arguments in that, and it's kind of like making the affirmative action in general just seem like so much worse and so unjustified. Because if this was the basis behind it, it's not justified at all. It really is not.
Mm-hmm.
That it just makes whole thing in general look bad, and it shouldn't because it's one incident. But people will take this one incident and go 10 million miles with it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a good
Like
look.
like me, I don't like things that cause division. And this is definitely doing that. But what about you, Lace? If they were their own entity, their own business, and they came out and said this, would it make it a bit more acceptable?
I mean, you immediately have to ignore the fact that it's illegal, and then if
Oh
like
yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. Take that out of the fact. Would you be more okay with it?
um
And
I
actually, I mean, we're not business owners yet, but I don't. Maybe you do have to have a certain level. I mean, as soon as you have your LLC, are you bound to the laws of like you can't have unfair hiring practices? I don't know what side or scale like puts you in the category of what you have to obey like hiring practice laws. But sorry to cut you off.
yeah, I really, for me, like I really have a hard time putting myself in the person's shoes. Like, if you have had bad experience with people, certain group of people, still, if your goal in running a business is to have the best business, you want the best people. Like, I cannot imagine having somebody that's super qualified for the job and they haven't done any microaggressions in the interview and I decide to hire another person because of their race over their qualifications. Like,
Well,
you
that's
want
why.
the business to
Well,
be successful. Like, at the end of the
technically, she
day,
didn't. She didn't say that it was like the other people weren't qualified. Like, if there was an example where people had the same exact qualifications, went to the same exact school, same age, but one was white, one was black, would you have a problem with it? And who
Dang,
would
you beat me to my
hire?
question.
Would it make a
No.
difference?
No, but don't say it. I mean, obviously, don't say it out loud. But
So it. Sorry, I was
No,
just
go
gonna
ahead.
ask if it would really be a 50-50 for you. Like, would you have any type of preference toward the black person
We
if
getting
it came
canceled
down to
tonight.
it?
I'd flip a coin. I'd flip a coin.
Come on,
I'm flipping the coin.
I'm telling y'all right now,
I'm 100% flipping the coin.
I'm
I'm flipping the coin. I'm actually flipping the coin. Yeah.
dog. I'm telling you right now, I'm again. Not that it's I don't.
Yeah, I think
work with white people. But
let's not say ghost, but I think we know.
yeah,
We know. But yeah, yeah.
you're probably the least racist out of all of us. I guess is the moral of the story.
I'm definitely walking away with that wherever any day of the week. Knock it off. I honestly I'm the most progressive like Israelite. That probably is this thing. But anyway, that's neither nor there. Yeah, I don't know if there's much more to say with this. Yeah, it's just a bad look. It's really like I don't know. It makes me think. I don't want to get ultra conservative or bigoted, but like, it makes it seem like wokeism like wash your brain. Like I don't know. It's kind of scary. But the one thing I was gonna say is, and that's why I was kind of pressing back on the comfortable part, because maybe for some people's views, in their view, the goal is not to have the best of the best, like ultra efficient, like detailed team. Maybe they just want a comfortable environment where they're comfortable. So you also got to take that into consideration as well. But I digress. If there's nothing else, we can move on to the next topic. Let's see if you know what's the next